After opening the season with a loss to Duke University, North Carolina Central tried to get its first win at the expense of CIAA rival St. Augustine's. But the Falcons would fly early. The deflected pass from Jordan Reed is picked off by Dominic Marsh. And the Falcons have reason to celebrate. The Eagle defense would stand and deliver, so the Eagle offense would take over. But once again, that Falcon defense was swarming. Look at them, pounce on the running back right there. And then on 4th and short, Central decides, hey, we're Division I, we're going for it. But Division II said, not in this house, not on this day. The Falcons flying high on defense. Could the offense match the intensity? Well, not in the first half. A.J. Guilford back to throw. He thinks he's got a touchdown pass. Jermaine Jones has a step, and he can't ring it in. So, St. Augustine's has to set up for a field goal attempt, but Michael Lima pushes it wide right. No good. We're still scoreless late in the first half. So finally, Central's offense starts to get on a roll. Just before the half, Jordan Reed on a quarterback scramble up the middle. Gets good yardage, puts the Eagles in field goal position. Oleg Parent is usually money. Not this time. Wide left. We're scoreless going into the third quarter. And then finally, the Eagles are in flight. Reed finds Lamar Scruggs down the right sideline. Scruggs pulls it in front of 2 defenders. And finally, we've got a score at 6-0 Central. But just when the Eagle fans thought, we got this in hand, Division II going down, the Falcons would come right back in flight. Guilford drops back, finds Herman Reeves. He didn't drop it. That's a touchdown. St. Augustine's makes the point after to go up 7-6. This game would eventually be decided in double overtime. St. Augustine's had a 6-point lead, let it slip away in the final seconds. Then in double overtime, Parent hits a game-winning field goal. Central avoids the upset bid from St. Augustine's to win 23-20. Two CIAA rivals wrap it up for the season opener deep in the heart of North Kakalaka. Fayetteville State playing host to Virginia State. The Trojans find themselves in a 14-0 hole before getting things right early in the second quarter. Lamont Brett straight up the gut into the end zone as a touchdown. Point after was no good. And it's 14-6 Fayetteville State. Then after a 3-and-out, FSU is forced to punt. Whoop! The snap goes over the punter's head and through the end zone as a safety, and suddenly it's a 14-8 game once you see the universal sign for a safety. So Virginia State has a chance to possibly take the lead, but Jordan Anderson coughs it up. John Brown picks it up, goes 36 yards for the touchdown. Fayetteville State goes up 20-8, and now it looks like they're going to blow the Trojans right out of Nick Gerald Stadium. That's because the defense continued to step it up. Thomas Bailey with a sack of Justin Thorpe. The Broncos busted their way to a 20-8 lead at the half, and then in the third quarter, it looked like they were about to put this game on ice. Jamaron Jenkins finds Kassoon Williams in the end zone. Nice catch there, 31 yards on the hookup. It's 28-8. It's blowout city in Fayetteville. Everybody's jumping for joy. And the Trojans woke up. Justin Thorpe finds Ronnie Smallwood. Smallwood does the rest. He gets in the end zone. It's 28-14. VSU starting to come to life. And you know they come to life when the Woo-Woos, the legendary Woo-Woos, get in on the act. When they start dancing, the Trojans start responding. Last play of the third quarter, Anderson right up the gut for 17 yards. Folks, it's 28-20. We got a football game. Then early in the fourth quarter, the Trojans on the move again. And it's that guy, Jordan Anderson, finding his way into the end zone. Get to that pylon. Touchdown. 28-26. The two-point conversion is no good. So FSU is hanging on to the lead. But momentum clearly on Virginia State's side. And the defense now picks it up. George Fagans with a nice stop there. Late in the game, under a minute to play. Virginia State trying to get in position for a field goal. Thorpe to Smallwood one more time. Concerned for the Bronco players because now they know this game could slip away. And with 4 seconds left, Devontae Hunt from 30 yards out, it is good. Virginia State rallies from a 28-8 deficit to steal one in Fayetteville. Final score, Virginia State wins 29-28. The Livingstone Blue Bears wanted to emerge with a victory over their hated rivals Johnson C. Smith in the 5th annual commemorative classic. The oldest rivalry in black college sports has gone Johnson C. Smith's way since they renamed it the commemorative classic, JCSU winning the first 4 meetings. That's a field goal by Eric Amaya to give the Golden Bulls a 3-0 lead. Livingstone fans didn't like that, and they're definitely not going to like what they're about to see in the second quarter. Yeah, I don't like that. They won't like this either. Andrew Alexander to Fred Scott, wide open in the end zone. 10-0 Smith at this point, 13-0 later in the second quarter, and that's that combination again. Alexander to Scott, their second TD combination, gives JCSU a 20-0 lead. Memorial Stadium in Charlotte is decidedly going towards Golden Bulls. That's Justin Forte of the Blue Bears trying to give Livingstone a little bit of momentum, and the Blue Bear cheerleaders trying to cheer their team on. The field goal by Leonardo Mango to make the score 20-3, but just before the half, after a turnover, a blocked punt actually, Leander Barney gets into the end zone from a yard out. JCSU leads 27-3 at the break. They got reason to party up at Memorial Stadium, but Livingstone was like, hold it a second. It might be the season opener, but we're sick of losing Johnson C. Smith. We got a couple of moves to bring your way so we can make this a game. And that's exactly what they do in the third quarter. Little trickeration coming up here. The halfback pass, Forte to Jalen Hendrick. And just like that, it is 27-10. And there's reason for hope for the Blue Bears. They're starting to get a little bit of momentum. Now in the fourth quarter, same score, 27-10. The fake punt on fourth down. Kenneth White takes the ball. One man to beat. Can he beat him? No, he can't. He will set up another touchdown from the Blue Bears. Drew Powell by Miles Harris in the middle of the end zone. And all of a sudden, it's 27-17 with 8 minutes to play. But Johnson C. Smith says, don't worry, we got this in the bag. We got it in the bag on fourth down. Rather than go for a field goal, they went for it. Alexander to Jimmy Dry, and that put the game on ice. Johnson C. Smith goes on to win the season opener in the 5th straight over Livingstone. Final score, 34-17. The first week of action is now in the books, so let's get you caught up on the standings, starting with the CIAA North. Bowie State, Lincoln, PA, and VSU starting the year off with wins. But the big story from the CIAA comes from the south part of the division, where preseason national number 2 ranked Winston-Salem State lost their season opener out of conference to Pembroke State. Johnson C. Smith and Shaw did open the year with wins. Fayetteville State, St. Aug, and Livingstone trying to get on track. Now to the MEAC, where Bethune-Cookman is the nation's number 1 ranked team, according to Onadan.com. But it was North Carolina A&T with the most impressive win last week, knocking off 3-time FCS champion Appalachian State on their home turf in Boone. Aggie pride is back in Greensboro. FAMU and Central with wins so far in the season. South Carolina State off to an uncharacteristic 0-2 start, with both of those losses coming to FBS schools, one of them being the nation's number 3 ranked Clemson Tigers. Now to the SIAC, where Benedict is the only school in the East with a win. Albany State lost out of conference. Clark Atlanta, Fort Valley State, and Morehouse trying to get their groove on and get it on quick. Their fans are not going to tolerate a whole lot of losing. In the West, Tuskegee off to a 1-0 start along with 4 other teams. The Golden Tigers with the most impressive win out of that bunch, knocking off Alabama A&M. Now, speaking of the Bulldogs, they're one of only 2 teams in the SWAC Eastern Division that have started off the season with wins. How about Alabama State 0-2? Who would have thought that from Reggie Barlow's team? Alcorn State also 0-2 along with the Valley. The big news coming out of the SWAC West Division where Doug Williams, the living legend at Grambling, has been fired. Meanwhile, Prairie View is the only school with a win from the teams in the West. We'll get you caught up again next week on HBCU Live.